Coffee and Convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you wipe them feet. That means hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, we're trying to get to that 30K mark. We cannot do it without the greatest chat in YouTube history. Once again, good morning, world. We got some news to attend to. Salute to Vinny B. First on the case today, you guys. Put out an interesting tweet. The Raiders are working to trade cornerback Jack Jones, but if they can't work out a trade, Jones will be released on Monday. Crazy, you guys. We're already kind of thin in the cornerback room, and it looks like we will be moving on from Jack Jones. This won't cost us anything, actually, you guys. He's due, I believe, $3.4 million this season. There's no dead money. This is still his rookie deal. So you kind of wash your hands of this situation. There's been countless stories about this kid, in Vegas and in the effort, once again, we see what happened with AP, right? Last season, the business decisions, right? It's funny, man. I promised my dude I wouldn't mention his name. I got a message. Let me see. 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Let me see when this. Let me see when this was. It was last Monday. Okay, last Monday, and he sent me a tweet, and he was talking about other stuff like who had, all the power in the building. Talking about Spy Tech and Tom Brady and the way they balance out their power. And in the middle of this message, it was just so random. They also said Jack Jones apparently is late to every practice, leaves the field early when he's frustrated, and also throws fits on the sideline every time he gets cooked. Salute to my guy. Not going to put his name out there, but I appreciate the heads up. We can kind of see this, right? I mean, the writing was kind of on the wall with Jack Jones. Last year, he gets benched for a quarter, a half by AP because of the business decision. We've seen big plays by Jack Jones. We've seen big plays been given up. There's been multiple games where I watched him really not even try and show any effort in terms of tackling, And it just sucks because he's still young. He's still young. What is he, 27 years old? He's still really, really young. And he had a big year for us statistically last year. It may not have looked all beautiful, right? 4-13, but he had 69 tackles. That was a career mark. 16 passes defensed, 3 interceptions. He had a big season last year for him. I'm not mad about what Jack Jones put out there on the field outside of the business decisions, and he did give up some big plays. But he had a pretty good campaign last year. But, hey, man, Pete Carroll is not playing, you guys. This dude is coming in and trying to build this culture and build this the right way. And, it looks like Jack Jones is really he's really just not bought into what they're trying to do out there. And to keep it a buck with you guys, I know some people that know him personally, and it seems like he's not really in love with the game. Like this was just a way out. And salute to him, right? We always, football gets a lot of people out of their situations that they came up in. But it sounds like he's not truly in love with the game. I know he's trying to make music. He's heavily into video games and all the other stuff. It doesn't really look like he's that in tune with football. Now, I can say that my brother Fingers hit me up the other day. Salute to my brother L Fingers, and said that he hit him up the other day, which is crazy, and said that this is going to be a big year, that he's bought in, he's tapped in, he's going to make sure that he goes crazy this year for the Raiders. And now this, so, but it looks like we will be moving on from Jack Jones. Salute to him wherever he goes. I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. Once you gain a reputation around the league, it's kind of difficult, I don't think there's going to be any team that gauges any interest in Jack Jones. It'd be funny if the Chiefs did, right? And he, the pick six, the stare down on Patrick Mahomes. That would be hilarious if they, tried to pick him up. You know what I mean? But I don't really think that anybody's going to try to trade for him, regardless if it's only $4.3 million last year on his rookie deal. I don't think that anyone's going to make a move for him. So I believe that he will be cut Monday. Salute to Vinny B, first on the case today. But hey, man, you hate to see it. A kid that is this young and has all the opportunities in the world, to be that guy, and just hasn't been able to put it all together. And I think the writing was kind of on the wall anyways, you guys, when AP was moved. I thought we already knew what time it was. I know firsthand that Jack Jones was pissed off about AP being cut or being, fired and us moving on. But I also know firsthand that he was excited to play under Pete Carroll. But AP was his guy since high school. I believe they even had a history even before high school. But you hate to see it, man. Super disappointing because we're already thin in that cornerback room. It's not going to cost you a ton of money to keep Jack Jones around, but this is really, it lets you know that they're not playing about building this culture the right way. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, is what it is. Salute to Jack Jones. Good luck elsewhere. It looks like he'll be gone by Monday. Salute to my brother Kane Town in the building. Let me catch up in the chat real quick. Salute to Niles, my sis, always coming through and blessing the channel, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. I appreciate you so much, sis. Thank you. Salute to all the new Green Dot Gang in the building because of Niles and Darnell as well becoming a member. Appreciate you, my brother. If you guys missed out on those 5, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here. Let me see. I'm cooked. I didn't sleep well last night. My dog literally decided to get into bed and sleep on my spine last night. So, yeah, I didn't have a ton of sleep. That's why I even got coffee. I got the strong thing. I got C4 right now. Let me see. Jason, hey, man, who's to say? Maybe, a guy that dealt with some injuries last year. I know he's looking to bounce back. It'd be interesting to see if he stuck around and played in the same division, right? We shall see. I think that they're trying to draft a few guys. I think that they're really going to look at getting a guy there in the mid to later rounds and potentially now taking one early. I know that they're high on Revel, Shamar Revel. We've talked about the interest with Will Johnson, the Michigan connection with Spytek and Tom Brady. The injuries scare the shit out of me with him. You know what I mean? But he's definitely still in play there. And there's some other guys that I know that we're bringing in and having meetings with. Zaw Frazier, we talked about him. He's a guy that you can get in the middle rounds. I have him as more of a 5th, 6th rounder. But if they took him in the 4th, just to be, just to play it safe, I wouldn't be upset by that. But Pete Carroll has a certain type of DB that he likes to see. You know what I mean? And that he wants to see on the football field. And apparently, Jack Jones just doesn't fit the billing. But I think this is more along the lines, you guys, of off field than on field. You know what I mean? I think that Pete Carroll probably believed that he can probably unlock whatever potential that Jack Jones has left. But, when you're showing up late, to meetings all the time, when you're constantly, running off the field, when things don't go your way, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. And a guy like Pete Carroll that's won every step of the way, he's not going to deal with that shit. And I think that Tom Brady probably had the conversation with Spytek, and Pete Carroll about him as well. Tom got a very close a look at this team last year and seeing how a lot of these players move and shake on and off the field. And, I think that Tom was probably like, what, this is going to work. Barron as well, DeMarcus Fax, the kid out of Texas. But yeah, you guys, breaking news. It looks like Jack Jones will be on the move, making our corner room a lot thinner right now. Currently with Jack Jones on the roster, Jacorian Bennett, He's going to be a guy that's going to start for us this upcoming season unless they just completely make over that cornerback room. MJ Devonshire, former 7th-round pick out of Pitt. I don't know where he fits in the grand scheme of things. 5'11", 186. We'll see if he gets some burn this year. Jack Jones still on the roster until he's not. Caillou Blue Kelly, 6'1", 185. Lanky corner. Maybe Pete Carroll thinks he can do something with him. We just re-signed him. I'm looking at Eric Stokes, a guy that Pete Carroll is very, very high on. Former 1st-round pick out of Georgia. Played for Green Bay his entire career. You're looking right at DeCam Richardson. He'll be year 2, 6'2", 188. That is the build that Pete Carroll likes in his corners. I'm expecting DeCam to get some real burn this upcoming season, year 2. I know he struggled last year, and he should. It's his rookie year, getting adapted to the speed of the game. It's going to take some time for him to get adjusted. We talked about Eric Stokes. I'm looking down. That's it. That's what our cornerback group looks like right now. We need some help in that corner room, especially moving on from Jack Jones. Nose ring, you guys, no booger. Don't let Wasted tell you anything different. Let me see. Yeah, Jason, I'm excited to see what he's going to look like in year 2. Definitely, man. Definitely. And he's not a ball hawk. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and get you a ton of picks, in turnovers. He's a guy that is a tackler. You know what I'm saying? He's a good cover guy. He's a guy that will go out there and sometimes you'll forget he's on the football field unless he gives up a big play. But, he's the guy that will go out there, short tackler, good in coverage, but he's not going to make a ton of big plays. That's not who DeCam is. I don't believe that he had 1 pick in college. You know what I mean? But once again, those measurables, you can't teach that. And Pete Carroll loves those big body corners. Let me see. Salute to Daniel Caps in the building. Brandon and Sam Webb as well. Says C Webb. I'm a Kings fan, C Webb. But yes, I forgot Sam Webb is on that list as well. And we brought him back once again as well. So he signed another 1-year deal. So he will be back as well. Salute to God and family. Rasul Douglas, Stephon Gilmore, Justin Simmons. Simmons is 32 now, God and family, I believe. Safety, 31, 32 years old. Struggled in Atlanta last year. Looks like Father Time starting to catch up to him a little bit. Not against bringing in Gilmore at this point is that veteran presence in that DB room. Not against that. Rasul Douglas looked really good out there in Green Bay, for a while as well. So, there's still some options out there. And then you can throw in Asante Samuel Jr. as well, another guy that you can kick into the nickel and he can start in the slot from day one. Salute to my guy, God and family. Once again, you guys, breaking news. The Raiders are looking to trade Jack Jones, and if they cannot get a trade, he will be cut by Monday, according to Vinny B of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Once again, this is coming off of, a career year for Jack Jones, 3 picks, 16 passes defense, 69 total tackles, but also coming off of a turbulent season where AP was let go. The business decision thing, it just looks like Vegas is not the right fit for Jack Jones right now in terms of building the culture up and trying to set the tone out there. Because essentially, Jack is still on a rookie deal, but he's a veteran at this point. And you want those guys that have been in the league for 4 years, to be one of those leaders in the locker room. And that's clear cut, not Jack Jones. He's clear cut, not one of those guys. You know what I mean? So, Will Governor is no longer a Raider right now. And he was like this with Jack Jones in Las Vegas. I believe, where did Wu go? I forgot where Wu went, but he was bringing him everywhere in Vegas and, studio all the time. And they were doing some, kicking it and doing some things. Jack doesn't seem like a guy that Pete Carroll wants in a building that he can put his arm around the young pups. And I'm not here to say that Jack had Wu into anything bad. I'm just saying that, you want your veteran guys to put their arms around these kids and say, hey, man, this is how we go about our business at the NFL level. You know what I mean? And it's clear, that Jack is just not that guy. Once again, he's in love with other things, music and video games. And I remember not so long ago, he went on Instagram Live and kind of went through like this crazy live where he was on a hotel balcony and he was talking about the New England Patriots fan base and because they kept getting on him about the gun at the airport and all that other stuff, which I don't know the ins and outs of that, so I'm not going to speak on it. But it's kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. In caps, this is facts. Facts. Oh, yeah. And I'm not here to beat the kid up, just because we're moving on from him at all. But now that he will no longer be a Raider, it's just funny to see that some of these situations we can kind of talk about now, because it's like, yeah, man, I kind of see why you're not going to be a part of what we're doing moving forward. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, I appreciate you guys so much. Leave some comments in the comment section. How do you guys feel about us moving on potentially from Jack Jones? If we can't get a trade in by Monday, it looks like we're going to cut him. Let me know. How do you guys feel about this move? Because for a minute there, we were excited about Jack. When we went out and got him off the waiver wire, he comes in and makes some splash plays for us. And we're thinking, okay, we potentially have a corner one, or at worst a corner two. Then last year happens, and you're just like, what the hell is going on with Jack Jones? How do you feel about this move? This is a move you make when you have depth at corner, which we don't. 619, I get that, but this is also a move you make when you have a bunch of kids that and I don't mean kids, these are young men that are on this roster that play that same position. You got Jacorian Bennett, a young dude coming in, is it year 2, year 3? No, year 3. You got DCAM coming in year 2. You got Eric Stokes still coming in. He's still young. You got a young room. You have a young group. You got to have somebody. That's why I wouldn't be mad about going out and get one of these veterans right now. Get a coach's setter. Go get a Stephon Gilmore. He may not be a number 1. I mean, he's not a number 1. He may not even be a number 2 at this point. But bringing a guy like that, who was a former defensive player of the year, who's won some trophy, got some rings, in his stash, and help him come in and be a coach's setter. You don't want your guy, your elder statesman, spokesman, in that locker room, be Jack Jones at that specific position, and him setting the tone. It's difficult to, it's difficult for that. If you're showing up late to interviews, you're storming off the football field when you get cooked. That's not what you want. You don't want someone like that setting the tone for those young DBs. And yeah, facts. He's not Pete's guy. This is facts. But once again, Pete he's originally a Bay Area guy, but he's an LA guy. Spent a lot of time out there, USC. Jack Jones is an LA guy from Long Beach area. Like, you would assume that maybe that Pete Carroll would be able to be the guy to put his arm around him, because of all the success that he had out there with USC, and also, just the LA connection. But if AP couldn't get it done, I mean, how is Pete Carroll going to get it done? I mean, AP is literally a guy that was calling Jack Jones in Vegas constantly. I've told you guys this on numerous shows, FaceTiming him daily. Where you at? What's going on? I'm in the studio, coach. Okay, just checking in on you. Want to make sure you're good. So on and so forth. Pete Carroll's not going to do that. He's not going to do that because AP kind of stuck his neck out there for Jack Jones when we brought him in off the waiver wire. You know what I mean? Like, Pete Carroll, this is not a Pete Carroll guy. So he's not going to be following him every day and checking in on him and seeing what the hell is going on. And he shouldn't have to. He's a grown-ass man. But if you're late to meetings and all that stuff, y'all, come on, man. Like, it's just, at this point, what are we doing here? You don't want to be here. You don't want to be a Raider. You don't respect what we got going on. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. You know what I mean? And once again, man, salute to Jack. I hope wherever he lands, I hope that he figures it out and he gets his shit together, and he has a long, illustrious career, and hopefully better than what he had with the Raiders and the Patriots. But at the end of the day, man, this is a business, and Pete Carroll is not playing. He is 73 years old, you guys. He's not playing this shit. It's either, football has to come first here. Simple and plain. It is what it is. And if you don't want to buy into that, it is what it is. Salute to Hug D's, my dog, man. I told the chat this year, Raiders will look different, play different, and execute differently. Y'all are about to witness real life change. The Raiders are of the recent, are past, are dead. Real talk. Let me bring that back. The Raiders of the recent past are dead. Hashtag real talk. Salute to my brother Hug D's, the my father himself. The GOAT has spoken. Salute to my guy Hug, man. Facts, bro. Yeah, man. It's different. Spy Tech's in the building. Year one. Coming from, a situation in Tampa Bay where they were fighting for a playoff spot year in and year out, and fighting to win their division year in and year out. You got Tom Brady who knows nothing but winning, right? Pete Carroll knows nothing but winning. Seattle, USC, Chip Kelly is coming off of a national championship where he won as the OC out there in Ohio State. These guys are winners, and they know what winners look like. And if they don't think that Jack is that, you got to go. Once again, it's nothing, you guys. There's no dead money. No dead money. You can literally move on from Jack Jones and you lose nothing. You just lose some depth in that cornerback room. He's owed $4.3 million. No dead money. So simple and plain, I'm expecting him to be cut Monday and then, probably get picked up on a minimum somewhere. And now you're cooked. You're cooked because you weren't bought in, into the sport that afforded you the lifestyle that you're living now. So, hey man, business decision for business decision, Hug, right? You want to make a business decision on the football field? Countless ones. Well, guess what? We're going to make a business decision as well. You don't fit our motto moving forward. You got to go. Simple and plain. Salute to God and family once again. I see Shaquille Griffin incoming, drafted by PC. I can definitely see that. Me and Scout were talking about that. Salute to Lil Bro when he pulled up on the show. Definitely talked about seeing him being a fit in that corner room. Yeah, Kev, this is facts, man. 4.3 mil, put that back on the books, and you got a ton of money. You could put that towards, like I said before, Gilmore, Asante Samuel Jr., whoever it is. Whoever you think that can be a guy that you can come in, that can come in and add some value to that corner room. Let me see. Yeah, tackling is a part of talent, and Jack don't do it enough or well enough. Facts. He's not a willing tackler. There's some, there was some moves that you see Jack making, you like, he has it in him. He has it in him. And then it's just like the next play or two, he just gives up on him. I've seen a few plays last season where I was actually impressed. Me and Stu talked about this off screen multiple times. Like when Jack Jones goes and chops the legs, it's like, okay, we see it. Like we see what Jack, it's in his repertoire. It's in his skill set. He just doesn't do it on a constant basis. We're not asking Jack Jones to be, this boomer that's going to come in and just light shit up. But when he goes in and he chops the legs down, it's a thing of beauty. He just doesn't do it enough. He doesn't do it enough. But it is what it is. Salute the Nav man in the building. It's good to see my dog. Gotham City, man. Will Johnson at 6. We shall see. We shall see. Once again, this cornerback room has got a lot thinner. It's got a lot thinner right now with Jack Jones potentially on the move. So, and there's some names out there, you guys. We've talked about a ton of them. Siobhan Revel, I know the Raiders are high on him. If he wasn't coming off that nasty injury, he'd be a top 10 pick. And this is a kid that I'm hoping and praying that he falls to the second. I would not be mad if it was Ashton Jeanty in round 1, and then you find a way to get Siobhan Revel in round 2. That would be back-to-back starters and back-to-back rounds. That'd be great. But, Travis Hunter's going to be off the board. We don't even need to talk about him. We talked about Will Johnson ad nauseum over here. That's definitely a guy that the Raiders are high on, and we shall see if they're that high on him to take him at 6 or potentially try and trade back and get him there still in the first. But there's other guys that we've spoken about as well. The Barons out of Texas and so on and so forth. The Darian Porters out of Iowa, right? The Trey Amos that we've talked about a lot over here out of Ole Miss as well. Maxwell Hairston, Kentucky. Benjamin Morrison, my guy, out of Notre Dame. I love that kid. If he's there in the second round and we decide to go that route, I would love it. Dorian Strong, Virginia Tech. The kid out of Florida State. What is it? Thomas, I believe. There's a ton of guys that you can look at here. You know what I mean? But and I think that they think highly of Eric Stokes. I think right now, if week 1 was here, Stokes would be a starter. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. But I know that he's dealt with a ton of injuries out there in Green Bay. And outside of his rookie season, it just really hasn't all been put together. But if anybody can do it, it's the former DB himself, Pete Carroll, the guy that has found ways to just draft DBs year in and year out, whether it's UDFAs, 5th round, 6th round picks, and turn them into something. So hopefully Eric Stokes is like a reclamation project for Pete Carroll, and he finds a way to really bring out what he was doing at Georgia and why he became a first-round pick in the first place going out to Green Bay. Let me see. Hey, man, Ty. Business decision, man. Business decision, my brother. Salute to 1,000 people in the building. If you're watching on Twitter, you're watching on YouTube, you guys, make sure you guys get those likes up. We appreciate you guys so much. Let me see. So Vinny said The Raiders are working to trade Jack Jones, but if they can't work out a trade, Jones will be released on Monday. Let me see if Jack Jones put anything out there. Knowing Jack, he can't stay off social media himself. Let me see. I don't know where. What's Jack's name on Twitter, you guys? I'm trying to find people. Boom. I can't find him on Twitter. Can't find him on Twitter. You know he can't help himself. So he probably already said something about this situation. Paper Chase May says Jack said they released him already. Where is this? Oh, President Jack. Okay, let me see. All right. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. President Jack. Okay, there we go. Boom. I haven't seen him say anything. He hasn't tweeted since March 25th. Is there any replies? Hasn't said anything on Twitter. So Jack hasn't said anything yet on Twitter. Maybe on Instagram. I'll take a look over there as well, but doesn't look like he's followed up with this yet. And once again, you guys, it looks like, the Raiders may have not made an executive decision yet. He's still on the roster. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks like he is on the move for sure. Let me see. He said, my inside source says Jack claims we already released him. Salute to Niles. Pete and Spy are about winning culture. Compete. Let's go. Salute to my sis Niles on the $10 holla. Love, sis. Appreciate you so much. And this is facts. Let me see. It's not like he's taking up tons of cap space. So did he do something outside of football? Yes, Black Sales. So I got a message on Monday from someone that has a connection out to the Raiders, out there with the Raiders. And he said that he went out, had a dinner with one of his friends, and they were talking about the dynamic between Spy Tech and Tom Brady, right? And once again, I'm not going to give up my guy's name. I told him I wouldn't do it, and much respect to him. But in the middle of him writing these messages to me, talking about Spy Tech, why Telesco, left, and so on and so forth, it was all about the GM position and all that. And in the midst of all that, and they also said Jack Jones apparently is late to every practice, leaves the field early when he's frustrated, and also throws fits on the sideline every time he gets burned. So there you have it. It's more along the lines of, what he's done outside, on the field, and also, in those meeting rooms and stuff like that, just not being, bought into what they're trying to do. So Mando, going through a tough spiritual battle along with the health scare as well. Send prayers. Thanks, Raider Nation. Let's get 10 wins this season. Raider Nation for life. Mando, my brother, man, prayers going out to you, man. Real talk, my brother. We love you. Hopefully, whatever you're going through, man, you get through it. God put some healing on our brother, man, and also give him the strength to get through whatever he's getting through, man. Salute to Mando, my guy, man. Appreciate you, brother, on the $5 holler. And once again, prayers going your way, brother. Yeah. And this dates back to last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just this offseason. I mean, they haven't had any real any real things going on right now in the offseason up to this point anyway. Like, there was a lot of talk and a lot of chatter about last season about how he conducted his business. You know what I mean? So, and one person that, I know they would never put it on record, publicly, but the way Max goes about his business, I know he's not playing about that type of shit. He's first in the building, last out. It looks like Malcolm Kuntz is starting to adapt that ideology as well, and JPJ as well. These are some of these guys are going to be future leaders of our team. JPJ, Malcolm Kuntz, and Max is the tone setter. Period. Like, they're not going to deal with this type of shit. They're just not. Zero. Okay. Hey, man. Cool. Hey, shoot us a late round pick and let's run it. Facts, Caps. It's not going to happen. Facts. But once again, you guys, this isn't a player, and this is no knock to Jack Jones. It's just facts. You're not an all-pro guy. Like you're not a future Hall of Famer. Like, you know, certain people, you deal with certain shit because you're like, you know what? Like Gruden traded for Antonio Brown and just tried to make it work because of how great he is. He's a great ball player. He's a future Hall of Fame guy. This isn't that. If you're going to be dealing with some bullshit, hopefully you're getting Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams type production, you know, and Jack has not done enough to be afforded the luxury of being able to do this type of shit. Yeah, and Daniel, man, who hasn't, bro? Who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, bro. Like, trust me, being from California and coming from those same environments, I understand. I get it, man. Like, you know, sometimes it's rough, you know, to get over those demons. I get it, bro. And I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him because of that. You know what I mean? But once again, sometimes when you're dealing with that type of shit and you just throw millions of dollars into these guys' pockets, it makes this shit even worse. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't really sound like he's really that bought into playing football. Like I said before, I know firsthand that he is, you know, heavily involved in music. He wants to do that a lot, very much into video games and other things, other avenues. It doesn't really sound like he's that, you know, really bought into, you know, what the Raiders are doing. Not even just the Raiders, football in general. Hug my brother, man. Come on, man. My brother. To the haters and negative Nancy's of the nation, without y'all, we might all try and spiral into oblivion from recent years of terrible outcomes. Real fans don't waver or talk shit about our team. Nation for life. Just win, baby. Whiners need new fans. Salute to my brother with a haymaker. My dog, man. Hug Dizzle with a $50 holla. Salute to my brother Hug, man. This is facts, bro. I appreciate you, brother. As always, I know you probably get tired of hearing about it, man, but I just appreciate everything you do for the channel, my brother. Thank you so much for the $50 special. And even more, those words. Salute to my guy Hug. Salute to Cap on the $5 special as well. I feel like first round is going to be a coin flip between Gene T, Will Johnson, or in my perfect world, the Raiders somehow grab Travis Hunter, man. You know, it looks like Cleveland is really, really bought into what Trav is doing. And if they pass up on him, it looks like the Giants may take Trav. Trav is gone. Trav is gone. And if he falls into New England's lap at 4, he's there. And then once again, if Jacksonville's sitting there at 5, I think he'll go there if he falls into their lap as well. So he's gone. But I would rather take GT and sit there and take, you know, if Rebel falls to the second round, you take Rebel. You take him there. You take him there, you know. Or if you feel like you can get a trade back with, let's just say the Saints, Miami, if Dallas decides to try to move up to 6 to go get GT, you know, he's a local guy out here. They know how good of a football player he is or how great of a football player he is. If you can move back in that 10, 12, 9 range, I have nothing against going out and getting Will Johnson. He can be a perennial all-pro type player, Pro Bowl type player. It's just the injuries scare me, man. You know, they scare me. You know, once again, pro day, freak accident, he's injured there. It's just, I'm very, very nervous about taking Will Johnson and then having the availability, you know, having availability be an issue for us moving forward. We have to make sure, you guys, that this first round pick, it works. This is Spytek's reputation on the line. This is the Raiders' next 4 or 5 seasons on the line. You have to get this right. Last year, we got it right. Brock Bowers. It's going to be a Hall of Fame player. JPJ, round 2, you got it right. Barring any health injuries, you know, health issues, God forbid, we got it right. We have to get it right. And Will Johnson absolutely scares the shit out of me. This is why I'm okay with taking GT there at 6. Yes, I know that he ran the football a lot at Boise. I understand that. But the kid has not had any real health scares. He's a workhorse back. And I'm all for taking him there at 6 because you have to get it right. You cannot afford to fumble this. Now, I don't know if you guys seen this. We do have Mason Graham coming in for a meeting as well. So we are meeting with Mason Graham here very soon. So that's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. He's meeting with the Browns, which they're not going to take him at 2, and he's meeting with us. And there's a lot of talk about 6 and Graham and potentially adding him to that defensive line. Spytech did say, he's a Michigan guy. They like those big bodies up front. Well, guess what? Graham is one of them. So he will be in the building visiting the Raiders very soon. Once again, he will be visiting also with the Browns. So gonna be interesting to see what that looks like. Nose ring, no booger. Nose ring, no booger. Salute to my guy Cap, though. Appreciate you, brother. In a perfect world, though, man, if Trav is there, you take Trav. There's just no way in hell. If he's there, you take the unicorn at 6. Salute to Hug Dizzle, my brother, man, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. I appreciate you, my brother Hug. Salute to all the new members in the building because of Hug. If you missed out on those, hit the link. It's pinned up top, man. Let's get those members up, man. Let's get those members. Y'all been killing it with the members. Y'all been killing it with the members, man. Let's get 100 piece today. I think we're like 20, 30. Those definitely help the channel a lot, man. Get those members up, man. We definitely appreciate all you guys. Got a family. Revel, 6'2", 194 over Will Johnson. What you think? At 6, let me say this. I'd rather have Revel in the second round if he drops than Will Johnson at 6. So does that kind of answer your question? Or trade back and take Revel there at the bottom half of the first or whatever. He's coming off that nasty injury. But I would rather have Revel in the second if he drops than Will Johnson at 6. So, and I love both talents. Will Johnson can be the best corner in this draft class if he can stay healthy. But Siobhan Revel was a baller, y'all. He is a baller. Go look at his tape. He's a baller, man. Once again, if he didn't have that nasty injury, he would be a top 10 pick in this year's class. There'd be a lot of 1A, 1B with him and Will Johnson. I like Trey Amos as well, Rich. Definitely like the kid out of Ole Miss. Like him a lot. I think that there's some interesting talent out there at the corner position. And Omni, Benjamin Morrison, I'm a Notre Dame guy, so I may be biased. I love Benjamin Morrison. But if there's a healthy Revel or a Benjamin Morrison, I'm taking Revel all day, every day. If he's healthy and good to go, and there's not too much to worry about his health moving forward, which is, you can never get that kind of assurance, right? But Revel's that dude. He's that dude. And I love Morrison. That's my guy. 2 stock, having both DA and Jack on the sideline and in the locker room must have been miserable for our guys last year. You know what's funny? 2 stock, I've heard a lot of people loving Jack. You know what I mean? And there was certain individuals in that locker room that loved, loved DA as well. Loved Devontae Adams. So, the thing is this, man, you can't have your leaders. You can't have a guy taking plays off. You can't have a future Hall of Famer saying, "Get me out of here. They're going to get me killed." You know what I mean? Like, what kind of tone does that set in that locker room? You know what I mean? But I guarantee you there was a few people in that locker room that didn't like some of that shit. And I can tell you right now, I know firsthand that there's a captain and a leader of this team that was upset with some words that were said from Devontae Adams last year. And there was some back and forth there because of it. But, hey, man, it looks like they're both going to be gone, and good luck elsewhere. Devontae finally got himself to a winning team with the Rams, and we'll see what that looks like out there. You know what I mean? He's definitely going to be a great move for McVay and company, man. Salute to my guy, Ty, my brother, man, gifting 5 of them things. My brother, man, appreciate you. Gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. Salute to all the new members because of my brother, Ty, in the building. Salute to my brother, man. Jack was getting cooked last year. Yeah, Foxdale. Facts. Constantly. But still had, a career year. That lets you know that what kind of talent we're losing, you guys. Like, he was getting deep fried last season, but he still had a career year. Once again, I went over the numbers. Three picks last year. 16 passes defense, 69 total tackles. He had a career year last year and still looked like he was just constantly getting cooked over and over and over again. But also remember this too. Jack was dealing with Jacorian being gone. Him missing a ton of games. You got your sparring partner opposite of you gone. You have DCam, a rookie, getting a ton of work, his first year. And then you got other guys that, honestly shouldn't have been out there in the first place. You got, Nate Hobbs is hurt. You got Darnay Holmes getting a ton of reps. So, Jack was kind of tough to see him out there with what he had out there at his disposal. This is not me trying to clean up any mess for Jack because he was definitely out there getting cooked. But once again, I mean, look at the talent he was playing next to. Wasn't a ton of help out there. Let me see. Yeah, man, Barron, man. If you take Barron, he could be a guy that can play for you in the nickel the next 10 years. He's a baller. Let me see. I have no issue with that. Vincent. He's probably the best available right now out there that can kick in and play in the slot immediately. The thing is this, he's 31 years old, right? So, what are we getting out of Mike Hilton right now? He probably is the best option available out there right now at the corner spot, like for sure. And I wouldn't be against that because he feels a need immediately. So I wouldn't be against bringing in Mike Hilton. What does that look like? I want to see what Mike Hilton's I want to see what his projected contract is. Let's see what his market value is. Former Cincinnati Bengal. Let's go to Spot Track and see what his market value is. $12.3 million. And I'll tell you right now, this late in the game, he's not getting that. The first wave is gone. The second wave is gone. The third wave of free agency is gone. At this point, everybody's looking at the draft. So I don't think that he gets anywhere near what Spot Track thinks he's getting at 12.3. He'd probably be lucky to get somewhere in that 5 to 7 range at this point, because of his age and because of how late in the game it is in free agency. But 12.3, there's no way. Damn, you guys are going crazy in the chat, man. Salute to Rob, my dog, man, gifting 20 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, man, thank you so much. Salute to all the new members because of Raider Rob 702, one of the GOATs. I appreciate you, brother. If you missed out on those 20, hit the link. It's pinned up top, you guys. CGR gifting 5 as well. You guys are the greatest. Now we're probably up to around 50 today because of you guys, man. Salute to CGR, one of the mob fathers himself and one of the GOATs over here at the channel also. My brother, appreciate you and Rob so much. Niles also with the $10 holla. Sis ain't playing today. Graphk, can we talk OL? What's going on with our Raiders? I think they like what we have out there right now. I do. We're going to address that once again in the draft. I think that we leave here with two bodies. I think we're going to get a tackle and we'll get a guard. I do. And this may be a hot take, you guys, but I think that they're probably going to value a tackle earlier than a guard. Because once again, you can look at it like this. If they don't think that Glaze is the guy at right tackle, you just kick him in the guard. We got some versatile guys. So I'm looking at some of these tackles in the second round. The Jonas out of Arizona, if he's available. There's some guys that you could take a look at that you could pretend. And I don't know, Jonah may be a guard at the next level. So if you do that, you can just keep Glaze on the outside and put him at guard. But even if you go get Mimbu, the kid out of Missouri, I'm assuming if you take him there at 6, which he's high on a lot of people's wish list going into the draft, you just kick in Glaze at guard. So, but I think they like what we have. Niles, JPJ is, to me, the starting center from day one. I know that Spy Tech said there's going to be a battle out there for the guard spots and the center spot. I'm not buying into that. JPJ is going to win that spot. And then you got, Meredith back, on another 1-year deal for the cheap. You got Parham still on his rookie deal. They're going to battle it out for one of those guard spots. And I think that Alex Kappa is going to be a starting guard immediately. Some people may not like that, including myself, because of how miserable his season was last year in Cincinnati. But he's a veteran that Tom Brady and Spy Tech trust with their time together in Tampa Bay, won a championship with Tom Brady. He'll be a starter from day one. But I think that they honestly like what they have in that room right now. I do, but I think we'll pick up a few bodies in the draft. Now, in terms of free agency, they didn't want to go out there and overpay. You see, we got Kappa really early, and then you see some of these guys got paid tons of money. Like the market was nasty with the guards, with the tackles. It was clear cut. They didn't want to pay that kind of money. So I think they like what we have in that room right now. And Colton Miller, I'm waiting to see. Salute to my brother Hammer in the building as well. I'm waiting to see, is there going to be an extension here very soon? he has 1 year left on his deal. This is his last year on his deal. And if so, I don't think there's any guaranteed money left on the books with Kolton Miller. I know he's a free agent next season, but I don't think there's any money left on the books. Let me see. 2025, base salary of 12.2 mil, restructure 3.3, workout bonus 50, cap hit 15 million. Yeah, I mean, there's really truly nothing left on the books for him. I want to look at over the cap real quick with cap. Yeah, I mean, dead money, $3 million with Kolton. No guarantee money left on the books. None. There's no guarantee money left on the books for Kolton Miller. Oh, shit. Y'all get nasty in the chat. MILF Talk. Salute to my guy, Raider Bryce. Salute, King. Salute to you as well, my brother. Thank you so much on the $20 special, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Always good to see my guy Bryce in the building. Always coming through and blessing the channel, my dog. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me see. Ant says, Graphk, if we dealt K Miller, what do you think we could get in return for him? A round 1 pick, round 2? I don't think you're getting a round 1 pick. I don't think you'd even get a round 2 pick. Ant, to be honest, this is a guy that, had an up and down season last year coming off of that shoulder injury and surgery. It's crazy to think that up to this point in his career, former first round pick has no Pro Bowls under his belt. I think there was a few years where you can probably, fight. He had a case on his hands to be a Pro Bowler. But I don't honestly know, like, what do you get at this point? I don't know what you would get for Kolton Miller. And I don't think they're going to move him. He's 30 years old. He still has, a few years left in the tank for him to play at a high level. I think that he started getting stronger as the year went by last year. You could see it in his game. Early on in the season when he came back, you can see how weak he was dealing with that shoulder injury. But there's no reason to move on from Kolton Miller, man. I mean, I'd rather extend him, keep him around a little bit. He's one of our last homegrown talents that we have. Let him retire a Raider, just depending on what that next contract looks like. But I would expect for us to extend him. I don't think we allowed him to just move or just walk in free agency. And I don't think we're going to try and trade him, especially this late in the game. So I'd expect some type of deal very soon with Kolton Miller. And maybe they want to see what he looks like at the beginning of the season before they jump the gun and pay him. Greg, we're at like 48, 50 million right now, I believe. Raiders salary cap 2025. Yeah, we're still at 48 million. According to Over the Cap. We're at 48.8 right now, so damn near $50 million. Now, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if this has Geno's new money on the books. Well, I know it had the original $32 million on the books, so it looks like his money was on the table already. But I don't know. I think you're going to add another, $4 million with Jack Jones if you cut him, if you move on from him. I think you added 4.3, something along those lines. There's no dead cap on that bread. Hammer, where you at? Bleacher Report, Jack Jones will be released Monday if Las Vegas can't work out a trade. Hammer, if you're around, pull up. Check your IG. Always good to see my brother in the building. Let me see. Hammer, I'm going to send an invite to Instagram. If you want to pull up, if you're around, come kick the shit for a minute. Boom. Tribal Chief Hammer in the chat. Acknowledge him and bring him on so we can talk about it. 2 heads are better than 1. And do another mock draft challenge. Salute to my guy, God and family. Amen. Respect, coffee, and convo, God and family. Respect, coffee, and convo. Mike Downs, Docs, to be the most important thing this offseason is establishing that offensive system that churns out talent and gives stability. Talk that talk, Downs. Talk that talk. And, Chip Kelly has a lot of work to do this upcoming season. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But no, definitely, man, we got to go from, being one of the worst offenses in the league last year to at least just a respectable offense. That's why I'm all for bringing in the Ashton Jinties of the world. He takes your ground game literally from day one, from being one of the worst in the league to at least a top 15 ground game, in the NFL. Then you got, Raheem Mostert, where if you can get anything close to what he did in 2023, we might be on for it. We might be here for a nice ride this upcoming season in the ground game. He said 2 heads is diabolical. Pause. Salute to my guy, Mike Downs, in the building as well. Let me see. Let me make sure I catch up on everybody's supers real quick. If PG and Pete, with their defensive resumes combined, decide JJ don't fit, I have to believe in it. If JJ can't get better with PG around, then nobody can, in my opinion. JJ only like contact. He initiated. Talk that talk, Nav, man. But once again, this has more to do with, the lackadaisical, shit from him. The storming off the field when things don't go his way with certain plays, the showing up late to meetings. Nav, there's so much more that goes into this situation than just, what he did on the football field. There's just so much more. They're looking to build they're looking to establish a culture moving forward. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that he fits the billing of what they're trying to do. Salute to my brother Hammer in the building. You on mute? Yep, you're on mute. Hammer been gone for so long, he don't even know how this shit works anymore. Yo, while Hammer gets his shit together, hug D's, Graphk word of the day, lackadaisical. There you go. Salute to my brother Thor in the building. Still can't hear you, bro. Still on mute. Salute to my brother Thor. Raiders. Always good to see my big bro in the building. Let me see. Jack most likely said something that he didn't gel with Graphk. Oh, man. Look, there's probably plenty of things that Jack said behind the scenes and what's going on with him. There's probably a lot. It's probably a ton. Let me see. You know how many people sent me stuff like online? I got to say at least 15 to 20 people sent me screenshots of them playing street like 2K basketball and shit like that with Jack Jones on games. You know what I mean? And it's funny, man. He be on there talking his shit. And mind you, bro, he's still a human being. He should be allowed to play video games and go into the studio and make music and stuff like that. But they're just looking for something. They're looking for people to be bought in. And I don't think that he was bought in. Yo, nope. Still mute. What's going on, man? What's going on? They said it's quietest I've ever seen Hammer. Yo, nothing. I was so sick of seeing him biting on routes. Man, dog, you ain't never lied, bro. There you go. Yeah, now you can hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if your mic's connected, but
there's a mic connected.
You're good. What's good, bro?
Shit.
How you feeling about this news? I know I sent you that screenshot this morning. Jack Jones, it looks like we're going to try and trade him by tomorrow, but it looks like he's cut. He's on the way out. How you feeling about it?
Very surprised. But with everything that you mentioned there in this live, it makes sense. Like, look, you're showing up late. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing your job, and pretty much are kind of being a headache already. Like, this is like the last piece of AP. Get rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, look, that was the AP move, and it worked out in year one. We got a nice little stretch of games out of Jack Jones where he looked like he can be a guy for us moving forward. Like I said before, I can tell you guys personally, he was pissed when AP was let go. I mean, I don't know why he didn't see that coming. He should have knew that what the deal was. But once again, just not really bought into this shit. I just personal conversations he's had with my brother where I've with Fingers, you met my bro.
Of course.
And him just saying like I want to do music. It just sounds like that's what he wants to do full time. You know what I mean? Like it's like a Darren Waller type situation where it's like this is what I want to do. Like I want to take off with this, not really bought into that. You know what I mean? And mind you, those were never the words that he used. I don't want to put words in Jack Jones' mouth, but it just sounds like he's bought into that. And we've seen what they did with Darren Waller. You know what I mean? Like, he's no longer in the league anymore. So, you know, I just the old school. What's the old school saying? All athletes want to be musicians, and all musicians want to be athletes.
He apparently wants to be a gamer too. He wants to game. He wants to rap. Like, yeah, congratulations, you played yourself. Like, I'm not with it.
So what's the move moving forward with you? If you're the GM, you're Spy Tech. How do you look at this cornerback group that is just kind of nasty?
I sent you a text after you had sent me this the whole tweet, and I looked at it like, are we looking at DCam and Jackrabbit being our starting outside corners?
Stokes. I think Stokes and Jacorian would be the guys.
Okay.
Initially, if I'm just a betting man right now, it'd probably be Stokes and Jacorian.
But I do feel right now that we are looking. We're gonna have to look at a corner in this draft.
Oh, like, yeah.
You said it before. We're very thin in the room right now. Like, the Raiders don't even. You're not gonna see a Raiders depth chart for those that have attempted to look already. You're not gonna see that depth chart until the start of the regular season.
Yeah.
So I looked at a couple of players we have at corner. Yeah, we're very thin. There was a mock draft that NFL.com put out, and they did like a 5-rounder. And I want to say we might have taken a corner in like the 4th or 5th. I got to look back at that, but
the Pete Carroll special.
We could mess around with one before that. This is your show, so I'm just a suggestion. We could try to run our head-to-heads again and see like what would be the right move. Like, where's there a corner maybe in the 3rd or 4th that we can get, because we know our top objectives right now. And honestly, the way I'm looking at it, especially how things have been locked up so far as it pertains to the offensive line, I'm looking at Genty 6 overall.
Me too. I'm taking 2 corners though, because this is the thing. You're betting on Eric Stokes, a guy that has dealt with a ton of injuries. Mm-hmm. Right, you're betting on DCam in year 2 to be the guy for you to give you some real live bullets. Jacorian is coming off an injury riddled year. Like, you need to add a couple more bodies, and then you're looking at the Sam Webbs of the world, and you know what I mean, the Blues of the world. Like, that's scary, bro. Like, that's actually, you got to go get 2, and then maybe a few UDFAs you could bring in and battle it out. Dude. But you got to get at least 2 in this draft. To me, I think you have to get 1 in the mid to later rounds and get 1 there in the 2nd round. And we'll do a mock on the way out, because I kind of have a plan, me personally, of how I would attack, the draft. Let me see. Hug just sent me something. He said, "Check your." You stupid. Hug said, "Hammer out here looking like Don King's a legitimate love child."
You're an asshole.
Salute to Hug in the building. Well, we can do it. I mean, we got MJ Devonshire as well, Alzado. This is facts. Yeah. But remember this. He's a 7th round kid, out of Pitt that I think, wasn't he on pretty much the practice squad all year long last year? I mean, or was he? What was the deal with
him? I saw him. I honest to God, I feel like I saw him on the field a few times here and there.
No, you did, but I believe, I don't know how many live bullets he's seen last year. Let me see. I'm gonna look right now.
What's it that I was looking for?
I'm
really pissed. And my other mic is like tweaking today.
Yeah, you got no real. You got nothing last year. We've seen him in preseason for sure. But yeah, it is what it is. Salute to Will Raider Laker, huh? Jack Jones is a cancer. Time to go. Salute to my guy. All right, so let me see. Catch up on the chat real quick. Salute to the 1,300 plus people here in the building. Josh says I'd want Darian Porter if he's there later. I'm here for it. That kid's a stud. Salute to Navman. Docs, I didn't know Wolfman Jack was still around. Great job finding that legend and bringing him on the show. Salute to Navman. Hey, y'all better quit shitting on my bro, man. That hair look cold, bro. I would do anything in this world to have that shit. I just can't.
If you saw it earlier, I had to run to the supermarket and I just picked it out, and it looked fluffy as hell. I was like, let me throw some curl cream in it and just do something before I leave the house. But this has been 2 straight years now. The off season has come and I grow my hair out, and I think I'm gonna try to get it a little bit longer than I did last year. Like, I might even go into the season. Like, we'll see.
All right, let me bring up. Let's
Over here looking like Poppy Shampoo. Now the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans really trying to speak that Espanol to me.
Poppy Shampoo. Poppy Shampoo. All right, let me see. Boom, I'm gonna bring this up. All right. So let's see how this goes. We're going to be realistic here, you guys, as well. If we're there at 6 and Cam Ward is there, we're not picking Cam Ward. Let's just keep that a buck here. We're not doing that. All right, so let me see. Mock. Can you see the screen, bro?
Yeah, I can see it. Yo, guys, we want to do this again. We want to do the competition again. Who's got the better draft?
Let's do it. All right, so let me look at the trades. Shit, Green Bay, you can move back and get a ton right there and future draft capital. I don't want to go all the way back to 23. Now, this is an interesting move right here.
He said 2026, Hammer and Graphk will support the mullet. Oh, my God.
So
wild.
This is a ton right here. I would take this
move.
Gene T's there. He's going to be gone. Graham will be gone. Shador will be gone. But guess what? I'm gonna accept this because now watch what happens right here. Watch what happens right here. There's a guy right there on the board that I know that they're high on, Jalen Walker. Now, could I go that route? I could. Or I can get low. I can go down here and give me. Let me see real quick. Damn, Gene T went right there at 10 too. I thought Will Johnson was going to be on the board. Revel's there though. I might have just
Johnson went to Carolina. I could definitely, if he's there at 8, I could definitely see that happening.
I might have just played myself though. Real talk, because I could still take a corner here. I don't want to take the kid out of South Carolina early, the safety out of South Carolina. I don't want to do that this early in the ball game. Damn, man, I may be forced to take Walker here. You know what? Is what it is. Now I'm about to miss out on the running back and the receiver early. Nah, get rid of these.
You played yourself.
Well, hey, Hampton's still available there. So I may go that route. But now I need a corner, man. I need a corner. And Benjamin Morrison is there. Damn, Kenneth Grant and Nolan are there too, man. It's going to be kind of tough to pass up on those guys. I think Kenneth Grant could be one of the top defensive tackles in this year's class. This dude's a stud, bro. Damn, Amos is there. Shit, I got some extra draft capital here, though. So I could get a little creative. I'll take Hampton here.
Realistically, Hampton's going to be off the board in the first round.
I'm going to accept this. I'm going to go crazy right now, pick up a bunch of draft capital. I'm going to reject this. Now, Grant's there. I'm taking Grant. I know you guys see Jackson Dart. That's cool. I'm taking the stud, big dog on that defensive line. Give me Grant. All right. I'm not doing shit with the Chargers. No. All right. So now I'm looking at corner. Porter's there. So I'll probably take Porter here. I'm going to take Porter.
Dude, take Estot's comment down. You're blocking my whole face.
Oh, shit. Hold on. All right.
Yo, Reese, you will never see me do cornrows. Absolutely not.
Bro, I might pick up another pick. I might just go crazy right now on these picks. But I'm not, because right now I see Horton there, and I may take him. That may be the big body receiver we can get right here. I'm going to take him. I haven't got a receiver yet. I know Savion was still on the board, but nah. All right, so let me look at my picks right now. Yeah, Walker, Hampton, Grant, Darian Porter. Bro, this is a nasty. That's a ton of talent right there. Now I'm looking at I got a receiver. Now I may double dip here at corner. Or I can look at the O-line. I'm going to go ahead and play this safe and take the best player available, which is Belton. All right. Damn. Nah, I'll reject that. All right. People are not going to agree with this pickup, and I get it. But I'm going to go ahead and take a quarterback here. I think that they like Ewers. I'm going to take Ewers right here. just to have somebody there on the on that roster. Now let me see. Kaiser's there.
Dan said, "Let my soul glow." I'm done. Y'all are stupid.
Neil is still there. I may double dip here at running back.
He says sewers.
See wide receiver. Ricky White's still available. Look at guard. Damn, the kid out of Sac State's gone already. I could add a guard here. You know what? I'm a double dip here at running back and go get Neil. All right. Now let me go look at my guy. Please be on the board. Boom. Give me Zah. All right. Ty Hamilton's available. Raheem, I don't need a running back anymore. I could use a linebacker. I may take Kobe right here. I could use a safety. I could take Batty here. Did they clear up what Kyron Lacey has going on? Like, they don't know what's going on with that situation?
I haven't heard any updates on that. I'm still very, I'm not touching that. There's no way. I'm not chancing it.
Yeah, but he can be a fucking stud, bro. But our luck, Henry Ruggs in the making. So,
oh God,
yeah. Let me fall back from that. I'm gonna go this. Let me get back to OG. Let me see if my guy's on the board. Damn, man, he's gone. All right. Well, you know what? I'll play. I'll give me a guard here. I'll take Lampkin here. I still got a bunch of pickups left. Okay, all right, let me see. Rourke is there. I like the kid Batty. You can use him as a future piece on that defensive line. I want to get another corner though. I got Porter and I got Zah, so I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do right here? I'm gonna end up taking Craig Woodson, the hard hitter out of Cal. Got a ton of picks, bro. Now I'll double dip here I'll go get Kobe King. All right. So Walker at 11, which I'm not that big on Walker. I haven't been on that hype train. But at 11, I mean, most of the guys are gone. And it looks like the Raiders will be interested in him. So it's going to be interesting to see where we are in terms of our real true interest with Walker. Hampton there at 37, which I think he'll be gone in the first round. But hey, he drops to the second here. Kenneth Grant, one of the better defense tackles in this class. You got Darian Porter out of Iowa State, got you a corner. Torrey Horton, Colorado State, got you a real big body X that you can put on the boundary. Coming off an injury last year, but this dude's a stud. Anthony Belton, the tackle out of NC State. Quinn Ewers, Devin Neal. That's a mean little 1-2 punch with him and Hampton. Zah Frazier, the big body kid out of UTSA that I know that Pete Carroll would love. Willie Lampkin, guard out of North Carolina. Craig Woodson, safety out of Cal. And then you got Kobe King there, linebacker out of Penn State that can give you some special team reps as well. So I like that. Traded back a few times. And I think we kind of addressed every real need. So let's get it. He said a wasted type draft. I see a lot.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
I see a ton of people being happy about this one right here, though. So what's up, big homie? Hey, man, I like being shipped off. Motherfucker was pissing me off every game with his elite trash talk in mid-play. Salute to fuck you, one of the greatest names in YouTube history. All right, let me move this. I'm going to let Hammer do his thing. He will go to another damn website. I still have. So we're gonna do is we'll have them both up, so we can do that. Mine's behind the scenes right now, so we're good.
Look at this fucking offer.
Yeah, you moving back to 30 though. That Saints one is nice.
3.
You only get a third? Or is that a second?
That's a third.
Oh no.
I'm not taking any of them.
Okay.
And look at what we have.
Now, is Trav going to really be available?
I don't know. I heard the talks about after the pro day and everything. I'm looking at the chat and seeing what you guys are saying.
They say take that Saints deal, get you an extra third-round pick.
Yeah, move back 3 and get a third. What the fuck?
I mean, you could, though. Honestly, I mean, you're moving back 3 picks, bro. You pick up – that's really – if you go across the numbers and the point system, it is realistically ends up being somewhere around the long line of a third-round pick. Because Trav's not going to be there. He's just not. And GT still dropped because you went right before Chicago.
Yep.
So boom, bro. That's the move right there. Clean up. I like it. Salute to Wilder as well, man. Gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network membership. My brother Wilder, I appreciate you, King.
Another. You go back 6.
Ooh. Take it, bro.
Jesus. That ain't realistic.
Wait, but what did Buffalo offer?
Buffalo offered the whole fucking house, bro.
Two, 5, 5, 6. Holy shit. And you're moving back from 37 to what is it, 56?
Yeah. I feel like you're going to miss out on an opportunity here, though. Yeah. Somebody just say, yeah, that's not real.
Yeah.
I do like the Niners one, though.
Me too.
I'll take it. I'll go back.
Move back, what, 7 spots?
Yeah. No. Gee, yo, these motherfuckers.
They're tweaking right now, bro. Take the most realistic ones, you know what I mean?
I don't think at this point, I'm not taking any more, but how do you have Dart? No.
Oh. There's still a ton of talent on the board.
Yeah, but I know where I want to go here. And yep, he's there.
Ooh. Okay. The young
I'm telling you right now, moving forward for me anyways, I'm kind of looking, I'm going to go running back. I'm going to go receiver in the first 2 rounds.
Me too. But now with, a need for corner again.
That's where.
I hope Rebel's there in the second round, bro. I hope he drops.
Ah, fuck. Go figure, my guy. I could have went corner instead.
I just added a body to the O-line, brother. That's all I did. I picked up a ton of draft capital through trade. So I just picked up the best offensive lineman available at that time, bro. Once again, you never know what may happen. You may have to kick JPJ to guard. Injuries happen, and then you have other guys on that you can shuffle around. I like Alfred Collins as well. I think that's a kid that's not being talked about enough.
No, he's not, and I'm liking what I'm doing right here. And look, we shored up. We went with a corner. We got Jacob Parrish. We still have another pick here in the same round. We could do whatever we want here. I can go edge. I can go safety. I could go
QB. You can go O-line.
I think I'm going to go O-line here. Or safety. I'll go Ozzy. I'm not taking any more trades.
Yeah, picked up a ton of capital already.
I'm going to go I'm going to go edge. Kyle Kennard.
Ooh, Kennard's nice.
I said just don't pick Sewers. I'm going to start calling him Splinter because you guys are talking Sewers. Kyle McCord is there. No, I'll go Ransom.
Okay. Took best player available. Got you a safety. Chip Kelly gets to see his guy Lathan back in the building.
Yep. Ooh, shore up linebacker.
Mondon Jr.
No, not interested.
Hussein, I hope that Kobe's a Raider, bro. I would love it. I would love it.
I got 2 picks apart from one another. I did go offensive line. I did take a safety.
Double
I
up
did
at
go
running back or
edge.
receiver.
What's his face is there? Pat Bryant's there. I just saw Nick Nash there. I'm gonna go with Nash.
I like that. Get you another big body out there.
We go. Let's see. Take another corner. We were talking about it before. We'll double dip at the corner position, and we will finish up. This is a guy that I like, and I've been seeing a lot of different things around social media recently as it pertains to the offensive line, as it pertains to JPJ. And some people are like, oh, JPJ is much better fit as a guard. And I'm like, I don't know where you're getting that from. He is our center, and he's going to be our center for years to come. I do think I would like to add somebody under him, especially since James is gone.
Whoa. Hold on. Before you make that pick, remember, Parham can play center. Remember, Jordan Meredith can give you some reps. Like,
right. I could also go a true guard, and I can go with Luke Condra.
I'm taking him all day. Personally, I would take Luke. He's a stud, bro.
And that's it. There you guys have it.
Damn, Howard Cross was still available there in the later rounds, huh?
I think he's going to be.
Let me see what you got.
So where is it? My picks. Here we go. So with the 2 trades.
I think you got 3 starters right there from day one. First 3 rounds. I think Collins can be instantly a starter on your defensive line. I don't know where he fits in the grand scheme of things with. I mean, you at that point, what is it? I mean, is Butler not starting? Is he going to be a rotational guy, or are you going to have Alfred Collins just be like a rotational guy?
I want Alfred Collins to start his career as a rotational guy.
Yeah,
let him catch up.
He'll be an eventual starter. He'll be an eventual starter.
Yeah, absolutely. But let him catch up to speed on at the next level, and just let him be a rotational guy. And then he could be another guy that's also a situational down and distance guy as well.
I think Parrish is pretty undersized. What is Jacob Parrish is like 5? Jacob Parrish, I think he's like 5'10", 5'11". Let me see.
Well, what's his
5'10"?
Jack Jones is 5'11".
Yeah, he's 5'10". He doesn't really fit that natural Pete Carroll type build, but he's a stud. I like that kid. So you got Ozzie. I like him too. The kid out of Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
Kennard is nice. I don't know how he was still available there at 108. That's a guy that you can add some more firepower to the edge room. Lathan Ransom. That's a nice little steal there at the safety position at 143. Mond is nice, bro. I don't know why he's dropping down a ton of boards right now too. That's an A+ pick. Nick Nash. We spoke about him a million times over here. Tommy Hill. I'm not really that familiar with Tommy Hill out of Nebraska. Let me take a look real quick. Let's see what he put out there statistically. Defensive back. He's 6 foot. Kind of has that prototype build. Let me see. Last year, 10 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 1 pick, 1 pass defensed. In 2023, he had 4 picks, 9 passes defense. Had a pretty good season the year prior. So that's a cool little late round move. I like Luke, bro. I don't know if we
put a poll on your YouTube side of things. Who had the better mock this time around?
Let me see. Let me see how. Hold on.
And Nation, what would you grade? What would you grade this mock?
I'm gonna go to. I just got to go to the chat, right? Or go to
and just add poll. Like there should be like a little plus sign. You just add the poll.
All right. Let me see.
Salutes everybody in here. Appreciate y'all. I was thinking Big Bro was gonna hit me up earlier. Like, yo, let's run this shit. And then I came back and he's like, yo, you home? Pull up. Appreciate y'all.
I don't know why I can't do it, bro. I can't.
Damn.
Let me see. Just let us know in the comment section, you guys. Or you know what we're going to do? Let's screenshot these. Screenshot yours, bro. I'm going to screenshot mine. And then we'll put them up on Twitter. Let me see. I'm going to remove this. Add mine. Take a picture of it real quick. And we'll do it like that. Put a poll on Instagram.
Yeah, screenshot both of them then, bro.
Okay. I don't know why this shit is tripping.
Just if anything, just tag me in the post.
All right. Remove
Say
that.
Hammer A Graphk B plus.
Oh, see, I can't really
scroll
see.
up when you tell me to.
Hold on, bro. Scroll up. Nah, it's not. I can hardly see it, bro.
I got it.
He said Graphk is having a wasted senior moment. I thought they were two really good good drafts. We picked up a bunch of extra draft capital, filled a ton of needs. Armando, I know, right? Use the same mock draft. Hammer cheated, bro, with that shit.
No, I didn't. Stop it.
It's nasty work out here in these streets, bro. Disgusting.
Stupid.
Disgusting, bro. Nah. But once again, man, salute to the 1,300 people still in the building. About 10 more minutes of the show. Once again, you guys, for those who are just joining, breaking news. It looks like the Raiders will be moving on from Jack Jones. Vinny B was first on it today, put out a tweet this morning. It's all over the place now that the Raiders will be moving on, trying to trade him, or he will be cut by tomorrow. Well, what's today?
Today is Sunday.
Sunday. I don't even know what day it is. So it looks like he will be on the move by tomorrow. He will be on the move by tomorrow. So
yo, Scout is really on one today. He's like, every alert that I've been getting in the last couple of minutes, it has been Scout. Tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet.
You see what he's talking about. Let's see what little bro is on. He said, I severely undergraded RJ Harvey. He's a monster. His frame is a concern, but just an electric runner, not every down guy. The Buccaneers and Spytech and John Spytech held 30 visits last season with the 5 Raiders 2024 rookies. Oh, that's a good tweet right there. Looks like Spytech met with JPJ, DJ Glaze, Dylan Lowby, Trey Taylor, and Jonah Lalu. Like that. We talked about this earlier. Adam Scheffner put it out there. The Raiders are taking a visit with Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan. He'll meet with the Raiders on Tuesday. Let me see.
Interesting.
And then Scout said he thinks this pushes the Raiders further to taking the corner in round 1 with Jack out the way. So let me see.
Do you think Will Johnson will be there at 6?
Oh, yeah. He'll be available for sure. The best way that I would trade back and just hope that if that's the guy that you can trade in that 9 to 10 range and he'd be available in a perfect world. If you want Will Johnson and you don't want GT, which I think would be a massive mistake, but you move to 10, hopefully Johnson's there. Chicago gets GT, we get Will Johnson, and we get some extra draft capital. But also I wanted to read this tweet. Salute to Scout. I read this yesterday. Raiders known private visits. So we've met with Jalen Milroe, quarterback Cam Miller, North Dakota State, QB Quinn Ewers, Texas, running back Ashton Jeanty, running back Caleb Johnson, wide receiver Iowa State Jalen Knoll, wide receiver Luther Burden, Missouri, Will Campbell, tackle LSU, tackle Charles Grant, William and Mary. You're going to start hearing his name a lot more, getting closer to the draft these next few weeks. He's a stud. Caleb Rogers out of Texas Tech. That's a kid that I've took a few times in the later rounds. He's a stud. Edge, we're going to call him OO out of UCLA because I always butcher his name. Alijo, I don't know how to say his name. Linebacker, Teddy Buchanan, Cal. He is a sneaky name to keep an eye on. Jalen Walker, Georgia. We just took him at 11 with the trade back. Benjamin Morrison, you know how high I am out of him, out of Notre Dame. I think he's a stud. Will Johnson, Za Frazier. So we had a private meeting with Za Frazier that has Pete Carroll written all over it, man. And you know what? I got to give Andy his credit. He was the first on the Za Frazier. He said, bruh, there's this kid out of UTSA. I'm telling you now, this is Pete Carroll written all over it. Since then, I've not taken Za Frazier off my board. That is the guy that I think the Raiders look at their target in the middle rounds. Malachi Starks, safety, Georgia. Kid Nick out of South Carolina, the safety, 6'3", 6'4", big body safety that I know that Pete Carroll would love to have in the silver and black. Also, Jackson Slater, the lineman. He'll be a guard.
That's not the kid at Sacramento State, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Marcus Ware, lineman out of Montana State. Caleb Etienne, the tackle out of BYU. Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker out of Oregon. Cody Simon, linebacker out of Ohio State. Siobhan Revel, look, he's a monster. ECU corner, Xavier Watts, another one of my guys out of Notre Dame, the safety. Was it Ahmed Hasneen, I think, edge out of Boise State. Kenneth Grant, a guy that I just took in this draft in the second round. I think he's going to be a first round guy though. Like that may be a hot take. I don't even know if it's a hot take. I think he's one of the best defensive tackles in this draft class. And I think that he made Mason Graham look really good out there in Michigan with just his presence alone. And then Mason Graham on Tuesday, we meet with him. So bunch of names that we met with.
So I talked about this a little while ago in terms of NFL.com came out with one of their latest mock drafts, and it's a 5-round mock. So the first round, they have us taking Ginty. The second round, Luther Burden III, the receiver out of Missouri.
Wait, is that the one where they had us trading up with the Chiefs to get him?
No.
Okay.
We're still at 37 on this one.
Okay.
Third round, and you just mentioned this name as one of the visits, they have us going and taking Jalen Milroe with the 68th overall pick.
Bro, if you go those picks back to back to back, I would absolutely be in love with this draft.
So,
and I'm not a Milroe guy, but if you get him in the third,
yeah,
bro, that's a win.
They actually have the Seattle Seahawks taking Quinn Ewers in the third round with the 35th overall.
I can see it.
Fourth round, 108th overall. It has us taking Jordan Phillips, a D tackle out of
Maryland.
And round 5, let me pull this up. It has us taken. We go the route of a guard in the 5th round and take Bryce Cabledew, the offensive guard out of Kansas.
Okay.
I think that actually would be especially the first 3 rounds, maybe even 4. Like that's solid as fuck.
Hey, I'm telling you now, when that kid out of Maryland is a stud, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him every rep at the Senior Bowl. Like not the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl. There was a certain amount of guys. I was like, yo, I gotta watch them. He caught my eye immediately. That's a big dude that can be a major presence on that D line moving forward, bro. Hey, Phillips out of Maryland, keep an eye. Hopefully we can get that kid. He's a stud. Salute to Wilder, man. Happy birthday, my brother. 51 years young yesterday. Salute to my guy Wilder. Happy birthday. Everybody in the chat, man. Let our brother know happy birthday. Salute to my guys. Salute to Hernandez as well. Heard an idea of the Raiders drafting Warren at 6 and having Bowers roam. I really do love Warren. I think he's clearly better than Mayer. It just doesn't make any sense, man.
Is that the tight end that they've been like, I saw something the other day, like they're comping him to Gronk now?
Look, they do this every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Warren is nice. Don't get it confused. He'll be a number 1 tight end somewhere. This kid can do it all, bro. He's a versatile weapon, can play all across the field. But it doesn't make any sense. You're not taking another tight end back to back.
I can see the only team, maybe 2 teams I could see looking for a tight end in the first round. No Diddy if necessary.
Denver.
Then there's a third because I'm looking.
Whoa. Denver just paid. What's the kid that just played for Jacksonville? Used to play for the Giants.
Ingram.
They just paid Ingram like a 3-year deal. But
so I'm looking at 3 teams that will go the route of a tight end this draft. The Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Because they lost that chance on Bowers last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers,
definitely.
Granted, they just got a free agent, but I think that was a 1-year deal.
I think Colston Loveland ends up in with the Chargers. Michigan reunion, Harbaugh. I think Colston Loveland's going to be the pick for them.
And I think who's the third team I just had in my head? No. You said Denver. I think it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be the Jets or the Chargers that are going to be looking for a tight end and probably go the route of Warren in the first round.
Okay. Hold on real quick. 2-4. Did I miss it? I didn't miss it. I didn't see a super from 2-4. Oh, my apologies, brother. Graphk, you need the peanut butter solution on that dome of yours. It was a movie in the early 80s. Check out the trailer. Salute to you and Hammer. I hate you 2-4. There was a reason why I didn't read that fucking super in the first place. I hate you. I love you. Get the hell out the chat right now, my brother. Salute to 2-4, man. But man, and look, the draft is right around the corner, and I'm hyped about this, man. Like we have a few more weeks. We got WrestleMania, we got the draft right here approaching. It's gonna be a lot to talk about here in the next few weeks. So stay tuned, you guys. Real quick, I know our brother Wasted should be live here in about 1 minute, so I want bro to get his shit off. We did an hour and a half. Hammer, if you're around sometime, I'm gonna call you after this. Oh shit, Ty put a super up too? Or is Ty gonna have me over here chasing something that's not there? Let me see before we get out of here. Oh, yep, boom. Hammer out here looking like ODB backup dancer, like an extra in a Dolomite movie.
Oh my God. Some of y'all are just hating. Y'all can't grow hair no more. It's all good.
Hate. Look to Johnny Wade, high-level mind games. Look desperate for a corner. Keep teams trading up. Fucking us. Love the piracy. Talk, Wade. Talk. Salute to my guy, Johnny Wade, out there in Indianapolis, and salute to Ty. You missed my... I just read it, my brother.
You just read it. Fucking asshole.
Salute to Chris as well. Graphk Hammer, given the connection with the Pats trade for Mayer, and if so, could we ask for Ellis, the linebacker Raiders wanted to sign? We talked about this a few shows ago. I forgot who brought this idea up. If you're I would rather keep Mayer, and maybe it's just because I'm just a Notre Dame guy, and I think that it's smart to keep more of a traditional tight end on the roster. But that would be interesting.
I'm keeping them.
Hey, man.
Keeping them.
And I like
we have Bryant left.
Yeah. Well, we just signed the what's his name from Carolina, which he's missed a ton of games these past 2 years, and he's more of a blocking tight end. He's not going to give you any real.
I'm keeping Mayer at this point.
Yeah, but that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Josh McDaniels gets his guy back.
As you're talking about Malachi Moore, I've drafted him a ton in mock drafts.
There you go.
The safety out of Bama. Yeah,
he's nice. Salute to Niles as well. Happy birthday to the homie Martin. Oh, it's your birthday, Martin? Salute to our guy Martin. I did not know, bro.
Our neighbor from across the pond. Happy birthday and many, many more, my guy. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your support on all of Shieldmore's channels, man. Happy birthday to you.
It never fails without an S. The best blocking tight end we got is Parham.
Here we go.
I think that's the best way to end the show today. Salute to S. Crazy. Salute to Jimmy as well, gifting 1 OLV Raiders Network membership. My brother, I appreciate you. Salute to you, man, and salute to the new member in the building because of Jimmy. If you guys missed out on those, hit the link is pinned up top. Thank you to everybody who gifted all the memberships today. Everybody that sent supers, everybody that didn't send supers, all the commenters, all the non-commenters. All I ask is if you can, hit that subscribe button, get those likes up, wipe them feet, y'all. Other than that, man, Hammer, it's always good to have you on the show, bro. I know you've been busy working like crazy, out there working like a Jamaican and shit. The Jamaican, Jamaican that you are.
Literally.
Yeah. So, I respect it, man. I respect the Jamaican hustle, bro. It's different. That hustle is different.
We built different.
Salute to my guy, Hammer, man. Salute to everybody here in the building, as always. We'll be back this week to talk some more Raiders football. And if this Jack Jones thing happens tomorrow, scenario where we cut him, we'll be here to cover it every step of the way. Love and appreciate you all. If you guys can, go jump over to Wasted channel. I know he's about to do it live and give his take on this whole Jack Jones situation. So love and appreciate you guys. We out.